All right, we got cut off there, so let's wrap this up real quick with everyone's favorite thesis, the although thesis, right? This is where you show that you have complexity. You can see multiple sides to an angle. So in this case, we have, although slavery was a significant piece of the American economy, it was only a small component of the larger state versus federal debate that led to the Civil War. So we are not going to say that slavery is the leading cause of the Civil War. Another two we did, and it might be an easy thing to go to, but you don't have to go that way, right? You can give an alternate perspective. So I'm acknowledging that slavery was a part of the Civil War. Although slavery was a significant piece of the American economy, it was only a small component of the larger state versus federal power debate that led to the Civil War, as the Confederate States believed their interests were being ignored by the government. That's my line of reasoning. So I've set the stage and I've said slavery, yes, that was a cause, but the real cause was the federal versus state power debate. And why did that matter? It mattered because the Confederate States of the South felt like they were being disrespected, they weren't being listened to, and that is where your evidence is going to come in to support that, right? So I have an alternate perspective. I'm acknowledging one thing, however, I'm going to say something else, and then I'm going to show my line of reasoning as to why I'm saying that. So hopefully all these made sense. I do have one last thing. I know this one was long. I promise the other ones will not be this long. Final tips. Write your thesis first, right? Your thesis should be the first thing you write down. Do not write your introduction and then go into your thesis. Don't let your introduction dictate your thesis. Let your thesis dictate your introduction and your paper. Write it down, know what it is, have purpose to your paper. Don't stumble into it. If you stumble into it, it's not going to be as good. Write your thesis first. When you write your thesis in your paper, write your introduction, go into your thesis. When you write your thesis, underline it. Why should you underline it? Should you underline it for the reader? No, the reader's going to be able to find your thesis. If they can't find it, it's probably not a good thesis. You want to underline it so you know what your thesis is. You want to read it in your introduction. Write your thesis first, write your introduction, write your thesis at the end of your introduction, underline it, read your introduction again. Does my thesis make sense in my introduction? Is my paper going in the direction that I want my paper to go in? If it isn't, you might need you have to rewrite your thesis, or you have to switch directions. But figure out what your thesis is after you wrote your introduction, so that way you know the paper is going in the right direction. So write it first, read it again after you wrote that in the introduction. Don't let your paper get messed up. Stop it before you go in the wrong direction. All right, that was the thesis speak. Again, I promise the rest of them will be much shorter. That was the first episode of Estabrook's Excellence in Education Thesis Edition. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry, it's 2 videos, and we will see you guys next time.